Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat Reality. I'm Molly, and today we are welcomed by a very special guest, Zachary Reality. He's social media personality and host of the Zachary Reality podcast. So, welcome, Zachary.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be back. It's been a minute.
I know it has been over 2 years since you were on. You're actually our first guest we ever had on the pod.
Oh, yeah.
So, what's new with you? Anything new in your world?
Oh my God. Well, that's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
So happy to be back. I mean, there's so much that's been new. I think I've been continuing to grow my platforms. I'm still living in Los Angeles. I've been there for 6 years and I'm currently in Florida this week for Art Basel. So life is good. It's exciting that the year is slowing down. I'm excited for the holiday travel.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And now that some of the shows are winding down, as Dancing with the Stars has now come to an end, right in time for holiday season. But as a whole, obviously, Dancing with the Stars is one of our favorite shows, your favorite show as well. And wanted to chat all about this season, in particular this finale. But just wanted to get your opinion on this season as a whole, and who you're rooting for coming into it.
I loved this season. I thought it was so good. I think everybody was invested. Like everyone was all in. So I think that's what made it better and the stakes were super high. Going into the season, I was definitely rooting for Dylan Efron. I loved him on The Traitors. I think he's such a doll. And I also was really rooting for Alex Earl. She's super relatable. I love watching her TikTok. So those were the two that I was hoping would go all the way. And they did go to the finale. So it ended up being a really great season.
Yeah, I agree. I felt like this cast was really stacked up this season, which made a lot of people engaged. And I obviously also love Dylan from The Traders and Alex as well. And did you have anyone who you were surprised with how far they went or how well they did this season?
I mean, Danielle Fishel surprised me because I didn't know too much about her. She's always looked like Candace Cameron Bure to me, but now she's like her own person. I didn't watch Boy Meets World, but I thought she did really good and she had a lot of fun, energy, and dedication to the show, and she made it pretty far. I also was very impressed by Elaine. I did not think she'd be able to recover after she went to the hospital and missed that week, and she made it to the finale and delivered an amazing performance at the end. So I would say those two really surprised me.
Yeah, I agree. I was really surprised with Elaine because I was impressed. I didn't know her background also that she used to be a dancer. So going into the season, I didn't expect her to be so good and make it to the finale, which was amazing to see. And it's also great that she's only one of three women over 50 to make it to the finale. So that's also a good stat to have in her pocket.
Mhm.
But yeah, Danielle was fun. I'm excited that she's going to go on tour. I feel like she has like that host abilities and like obviously because she had her own podcast throughout the season
Mhm.
and that will be fun to see her with Pasha. Actually, she's going to be at
Mhm.
the show that I'm going to in Houston, so that
Oh,
will be
cool.
nice.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
slay. I've
but
gone every year. I've gone the last
okay.
3 years, maybe four.
Okay.
So I'll be going again for sure this year. I love going.
Yeah, tour is always a blast. And speaking of shows, you actually did go to a few this season of Dancing with the Stars, including the 20th anniversary after party. So would love to hear
Mhm.
more about your experiences there and being in the audience and who you got to meet.
Being in the audience at Dance Meet the Stars is truly the most fun thing ever. It's like going to Disney World. I love going so much. So when I went this season, I went during week 2 and I sat right behind the judges, which is usually where I sit, which is kind of good because there's like a lot of like fun BTS, but you also do miss some of the stage because it is blocked off. So there's certain dances you can't see fully. But what was really cool is that this was the first year I actually got to do press and interview. So after the episode ended, I went to the dance floor. I had my friend come film me, and I got to interview pretty much the entire cast. And this was during week 2. So pretty much everyone was still there. And that made this experience so special because I've been going to the ballroom for the past 4 years. And this was my first year doing the interviews. So it felt like I really like worked my way up. And it was just such a fun moment for me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I saw those interviews you posted on social media, so I loved watching those. And who are you most excited to meet?
Probably Alex Earl, just because I have never met her before and I was dying to meet her because I've been following her on TikTok forever. So meeting her was so cool. She was so nice. I also had a great rapport with Lauren from Fifth Harmony. I really wanted to meet her. I thought she was so funny when she got casted and I was like all about it. So getting to chat with her was super, super great. I have interviewed Dylan Efron before. because he was on the Traders and I've worked that press junket. So seeing him again, he remembered me and was like, "What's up?" Like that was kind of like a fun moment just because I have such a crush on him, like everyone else.
Yeah, no, that's so fun. And at the 20th anniversary party, you also got to see them again. So anything to note from that and any tea you can spill?
Well, I mean, Alex Earl knew my name by then, so that was
Oh.
exciting. The 20th anniversary was crazy. Like, it was the biggest party ever. I felt so lucky to be there. It felt like the invite of the year, and so much fun vibes were going on. I mean, everywhere you looked, there was like a new dancer, a new celebrity, a new pro. So many people came back from the past. So it was interesting to meet like Jake Pavelka and like Chris Soules, like old bachelors, and like see Trista Sutter, just because I love Bachelor Nation.
Yeah.
So that was interesting, and just like seeing everyone just like vibe and be happy. A lot of people left early, especially the people on the show. Like I saw Jan dipped out early. I didn't even see Jordan Childs at the party. I think they were really tired from rehearsing all day. So the party ended up being a lot of just like OG dancers and people who came back and flew in for this. And I really noticed that Val and Jenna like kept the dance floor going late until the night and brought the positive vibes. There was Bailey's sponsored the party, so they had drinks. There was food everywhere and just a lot of costumes on the mannequins and memorabilia. So there was like a lot of different places to look. It was at the CBS studios. So, you know, the people who left the show just went right to the party, and it was from like 7 to 11:30. So it was a long party and there was a lot of fun to be had. And also Tom Bergeron, the
Yes.
OG host of the show, seeing him, I was like, whoa, this is
Uh,
surreal.
I know I love Tom and he's OG. I'm so glad they brought him back for the 20th anniversary. And so it was so good to see him. And he didn't lose any of his hosting ability. I'm like, wow, we should have him back now. He's great. But yeah, that's so much fun. I'm glad you had to experience that. That sounds like an amazing event. So that's so
Yeah.
fun.
Anything Hulu ever throws, especially recently, like I've been all about and have been so lucky to be in LA in the thick of it between like Vanderpump Villa and Love Thy Nader and the Mormon Wives. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there is just so much going on in the Hulu reality world, and I am just so excited to, be a part of it in any way that I can.
Yeah, no, that's awesome that you got to experience that. LA has all those fun events.
Mhm.
But let's chat more about this finale. So this season has had breaking records with the ratings, and the finale was nearly double last season and the highest since Robert's sister, Bindi, won in 2015. So that's amazing to see that the show is still thriving and even more so this year. So what did you think was the reason for the show's renaissance? Renaissance
Renaissance.
back in the world of
I mean, it's
reality
been
TV.
coming for a few years. I mean, they always
Yeah.
say like TikTok has really brought the show a new audience and has kept it going and has kept it engaging because TikTok is or was like based on a dance app. So like now you have Dancing with the Stars and pop culture
Mhm.
all in one. It really makes people want to interact. So I think just the relevancy of social media and the amount of celebrities that are fans of the show that want to join, they really get an all-star cast from all different places in the world. So I think that's what made this season so fun. But one thing I think is interesting is there was no showmances this season, and that
Yeah.
is something that has thrived on the show before, whether it's Brooks and Gleb or somebody dating another pro on the show. But this season didn't have any showmans. They tried to make one with Robert Irwin and maybe like Sochi or Jenna's niece, but it really didn't land or stick. So I think that's what made this season a little different. But it's good to know that it can still thrive fully without a showmance.
Oh yeah, for sure. It is interesting that we didn't get any showmances, but we didn't need it because the dancing was just so good and the contestants, obviously all of them or all the stars that were on this show, I feel like also had like pretty solid fan bases that
Mhm.
were engaged every week and wanting to vote and breaking out all those records. So that was really
Mhm.
fun to see. And actually at the end also feel like you didn't even really know who was going to win because everyone seemed like a really strong competitor, and which also made it exciting. Like sometimes you have like one clear lead and that's the person who's going to win throughout the season, but this one was really just such competitive playing field that it made it more exciting to watch, I think.
No, I mean, I don't know. I kind of disagree. I feel like Robert was a shoe in to win from the beginning. He's so popular. He's so worldwide. I think his story just touched a lot of people. continuing the legacy on for his dad, but also the relation to his sister winning the show 10 years ago, dancing with Derek Huff, who's now a judge. Like everything was so full circle. And I think Robert left us with the most touching moments of the season. So I couldn't imagine him not winning as much as I texted Dylan to 21523 every week. I really just like knew the whole time it is going to be Robert.
Yeah, I thought it would be Robert, but then closer towards the end, I really had a feeling it could have been Alex as well, just because of how well she was doing throughout the season, how she improved, and she has like such an army of fans behind her too that I was like, I think that they would all vote and come together, but Robert just has more of like the whole world or like
Mhm.
like all
Yeah, but
generations versus Alex is just like
uh-huh.
mostly younger women.
And maybe US, but I mean, I think you can
Yeah.
only vote in the US. A
Oh
large
yeah.
portion of Robert's fan base is Australian, but also like worldwide. But so I don't think they can vote in Australia. Like you have to be in America. But I
Yeah.
was surprised to know how many people like grew up with Steve Irwin. So they're really using his fan base and just Bindy's fan base from the show. There was just such a large fan base that I just don't think anyone can compete with Robert, especially if it comes down to the votes. If that's what it is coming down to, like that's who's going to win because Alex did have perfect scores, and I think Alex had the best scores throughout the season.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like just because of Steve Irwin and the family and all the emotion that came with Robert, just people were really touched by his story, and obviously his dancing was also great, and
Mm-hmm.
he just brought just positive vibes all week, all season. And Alex just had to do all she could do, but then didn't have it enough of the votes and the support as much as Robert did.
Mm-hmm.
But we did have five in this finale. So, speaking of that five, do you think that there should have been someone else who made it, or were you surprised at all who made it to this finale?
I mean, they need five couples because it's a 3 hour show, which is
Yeah.
crazy for a finale. That's longer than a movie, but I think that they maybe just want to sell all the ads or it's just a big night to have a big finale. So I think they needed the five couples. They were doing three dances each. I mean, that's a
Mhm.
lot of dances. There was so much going on.
Yeah.
Obviously, the big topic of conversation is Whitney Levitt. She was cut, right before the finale. And everybody was really shocked by that because people thought she was going to be the final two. It was going to, or three maybe with Alex and Robert. So the fact that Dylan, Jordan, and Elaine made it farther than her just was crazy because she clearly was the best dancer, and Mark is one of the OG legendary pros. So I think that was shocking, but I think what it came down to was the Mormon Wives fan base. Whitney, she only came back to the Mormon Wives to audition for Dancing with the Stars, and I think a lot of people who watched that episode, it just didn't land right. It seemed like she was using her friends as a stepping stone to get opportunities. And even though she ended up being straightforward and honest about it, it still left an icky taste in the majority of people's mouths because of how straightforward she was with being like, I'm just going to do this to get what I want. And I appreciate and applaud a woman who has ambition, and shout out to her for now getting Broadway. I think that was amazing. I think it just really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, including myself, where it just felt like she was using her friends to audition for Dancing with the Stars. People who were genuinely trying to make amends with her.
Yeah, I agree. It didn't sit right with me either. And especially the timing of that wasn't ideal for Whitney, of course, with that coming out while the season was still airing for Dancing with the Stars. But obviously, she did a great job. And I think that she did deserve, I guess, the opportunities now. I feel like she did a great job and gave us great entertainment. And now she's doing what she wants to do and being an entertainer and going to be on Broadway. So even though she didn't make it to the finale, I think she's got what she wanted out of it. So I'm proud of her
Yeah.
for that.
Oh my God, her going to Broadway is such a big deal. She just got announced this morning on Monday as Roxy Hart on Chicago. So she'll be doing a 6 week run starting in, I think, February. And I feel like the internet's going crazy right now this morning about it. Everyone's excited for her. And I think it's going to be a big hit. I mean, she has red hair now, and I feel like she's really tapping into like this acting era. She's probably going to leave Mormon Wives. I can't even imagine her continuing on the show. I feel like she just has so many other things in store for her, and it's crazy how quickly it all happens.
Oh, I know. It is crazy. Her glow up is insane.
Hmm.
But that'll be fun to see her. Maybe I'll go and see her in New York. But as you did mention, this finale was 3 hours long. So did you think that it was too long and they should have shortened it to 2 hours?
I mean, yeah, that'd be cool. I do understand that like a finale always has to be an extra hour, but I mean, three dances was crazy for them to learn. But I mean, I enjoyed it. I think it is what it is.
Yeah. What did you think of the instant dances? Do you think they could have done something else instead of that?
Um, those were fun. They had a lot of energy, so That's fun. I liked the freestyles, I think the best, and I liked how the judges were more involved. I think everything made sense with the 3 rounds. It's like a whole marathon. So I think it does make sense that it is 3 hours because it is such a journey to get to the end. And then once you get there, you have to really go out with a bang. So overall, it was a great finale. And I'm so excited to see, the tour as we were talking about, and then see who they end up casting next year.
Yeah, for sure. I think I liked instant dances as well. It was definitely like the changing and all that seemed a little bit rushed for them, but I
Hmm.
think that they all did such a good job at their performances. Like seeing them like having to learn all the different styles and then just decide and that or when they choose like blindfolded which one they're gonna do, having to do that just showed their abilities like learn choreography at this point. Like I feel like you could see how much improvement each of these stars had in terms of their dancing, and that was really fun to see. But yeah, I feel like the first dance, like I was like kind of wanting, like I enjoyed watching their first dances because then they could like throw back to like a different style they hadn't done in a while. But
Hmm.
I think that they definitely, I think they could do two dances instead of three in the finale. Like three seemed like a lot for them, especially like for the live aspect of it. Like they were just go 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 the entire
Yeah.
episode.
I mean,
So
it was fun to catch them off guard when like they
yeah,
didn't know the song that they were going to be dancing to. Like that was kind of fun to see how quickly they had to like get it together. It always ended up being a commercial break when they had to change, but like it would have been
yeah.
crazy if they didn't even have that commercial break.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, but it was fun. I think the 3 hours did feel like a little bit long at times, but I think they did a better job this season than last season of filling those 3 hours. So they're on the right trajectory, I would say.
Definitely, for sure.
But now let's get into each of these final couples and give our thoughts on their season as a whole and just their finale dances and the placements. So, coming in fifth place, we had Elaine and Alan. So, what do you think about them? And do you think that fifth place was where they should be?
Yeah, like I said earlier, like I feel like they made it so much farther than I expected. But I think Elaine's story ended up being so powerful. I loved her friendship with Lisa. They just like really were such a dynamic duo. And Elaine just brought fun energy to the ballroom. I was very impressed that she was able to recover after going to the hospital. And every dance that she did brought so much energy and light. One of my favorite dances she did was the Wicked one, where she was all the way in the sky.
That was so
But I
cool.
think just her being, 54, she could have been the oldest winner of all time. Like she really was so close. So I'm super proud of her. I met her at the 20th anniversary party and she was lovely. She was so much fun. And I mean, I think it makes sense that she got fifth. When it comes down to it, you look at that top five. I did think that she maybe even should have got sixth, but it made sense to me. She's great.
Yeah, I agree. I thought her freestyle was really fun too, and it was great to see her just how she came back from that injury, like was so impressive. I was really worried for her how she wasn't even able to perform in one of the shows and she still made it to the finale. So
Hmm.
that's really great for her. I'm really happy for her and Alan for making it here. And I also agree that fifth place was the deserving spot for them.
Hmm.
And then we had your favorite, Dylan and Daniela, come in fourth place. So what did you think about them?
Yeah, I loved the dance they did with the water, with like the little splashing. I thought that was so sick. They've had so many great dances this season. I did think towards the end he was starting to fall behind, like maybe the last episode or two. So it's a great thing that Zach Efron, his brother, came into the ballroom the week before, which we were waiting for all season. I was so happy that Zach showed up. I would have loved to be in the ballroom when Zach was there. But I think that is also what helped Dylan get some votes because Zach finally like posted online about it. But overall, I was glad that Dylan made it to the end because he is my favorite and he did really, really great. But I think after seeing, who came in front of him, I did think it made sense that he got fourth place.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that he showed a lot of improvement throughout the season. Like when I
Hmm.
first thought he was gonna be like a Joey and like already feel like easy and like could do the dances pretty well. But honestly, in the beginning of the season, I was like, oh, he's kind of stiff. Like he's not as great as I thought he might be. But then towards the end, I'm like, wow, now he's actually a dancer. Like he looks really good and comfortable out there. He just
Hmm.
had to get out of his shell and like kind of I think he's had some
Yeah.
stage fright kind of, it's just like he just hadn't performed like that before.
The first week was rough for him. I remember being like, oh no. But he really did get better throughout time.
Yeah, no, and I loved his freestyle as well. Everyone's freestyle was so good. I just love
Hmm.
freestyles. It's like that's the part that just it's just the best of Dancing with the Stars. You get to really see their personalities and just how far they've come in the
Hmm.
show. And Danielle is incredible with her choreography. So that's also, she's amazing. So I'm glad that she also got to make it to the finale and we could see a freestyle by her.
Definitely. She's the best choreographer. Her and Whitney, I think, are two really great choreographers. As far as like the females, I mean, I know we're going to talk about Ezra next, and I think he did a really good job too with his choreography this season.
Yes, agreed. So, yes, speaking of Ezra, we had third place was Jordan and Ezra. So, I was so happy for Ezra for making it here to the finale, as last season was his first season and got out first. So, full story, full reek of a really redemption for him, and he got to make it all the way. And Jordan is an amazing partner. I loved watching her. I loved gymnastics and watching the Olympics, so that was also fun to see her shine. And I just loved their freestyle was so good. And everyone's now commenting like, "Oh, this is like Super Bowl worthy choreography," and which is obviously deserving for Ezra because he's worked so hard this season and really
Mhm.
listening to the feedback from the judges and all of that. I just love seeing his journey with Jordan this season, and I'm so happy that they got third.
Jordan was like a beast this season. I mean, the flips, the moves, like the dances only got more elevated towards the end. And obviously, her friend Normani came out during the finale. So that was like a whole moment when they danced to motivation. I mean, Jordan has like a really fun personality. And I think her dances were so good because she's muscular, she's fit, she can do the flips. And Ezra is like one of my favorite pros. I love him so much. He's so funny and he deserves it. So I think the two of them together just felt like an easy friendship, partnership, and they killed it. I mean, their dance at the end was so incredible. And their dances just truly got so much better each week. So I was really glad that Jordan got her way up to third because for a while I thought maybe she would get like sixth or seventh, um, towards the beginning of the competition. But by the end, it was clear that she deserved third place, if not even higher. I mean, their last dance was so good, the freestyle. It blew me away.
Yeah, I agree. I was getting a little nervous she was going to get out before the finale, but I'm very happy that she made it here and that freestyle was amazing. So we needed to see that. And
We
then
did.
next up, we had in second place Alex and Val. So I feel like this was, I mean, obviously they said it was like the closest it's ever been. The amount of votes they each got was
Yeah.
crazy. So it wasn't totally shocking that she was second place, but I still am happy for her and her journey was amazing. And she said she's grown so much from dancing and she's got now Jenna Johnson abs from all the dancing.
Mhm.
But I feel like she just did such an amazing job, and Val was really good at pushing her and allowing her to really be her best self. So, what did you think about them?
No, totally. Alex is just so likable, and I feel like she's such a good dancer. Her and Val had some great hits throughout the season, and I did think we saw her grow into a woman this season, like as like a girl. Like I feel like we got to know her so much better. I really loved dedication night for her, just to kind of learn more about her family and the dynamics, and I think we really saw that. Dedication night was like one of my favorite nights actually this season. It was so emotional. So I would have loved to see Alex win. I think she's incredible. As I mentioned, she was so lovely when I got to interview her, and she's such a gem. So it sucks that she got second place. Obviously, like I said earlier, Robert's story was just too touching. It was just too good, and he deserved it. So this is the highest Alex could have possibly have gone. So I can't wait to see what she does next. I love to follow her.
I know. And did you watch any of her YouTube vlogs while or while the season was happening?
I
Because
watched a few of
those,
them. Yeah.
yeah, those are really interesting to see, like more of the behind the scenes of what's going on in practice and all that stuff. Because obviously we only have like a 2 hour episode. Usually that you
Hmm.
can't see everyone and all their journeys, and you see some of it of them struggling, but like really watching her TikToks and YouTube videos, like really understanding like how much she was putting herself through and like how much effort she really was like studying dance and all of that like really showed that she was really into it and just really wanted to do well, and it showed because she got so much better as the season went on. Because I
Yeah.
mean she started off like good, but then she became great, and I really enjoyed watching her. And also happy that she got second, but also sad because it's like, well, she was so close, but she
I
did all she
know.
could and she had perfect score in finale night, so she should be happy for that.
Yeah, as long as you make it to the end, I feel like that's like the biggest accomplishment because then it's like you completed the journey. You got to do every dance. So I think it's still a huge win for her. And like I said, who knows what's next for her?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. She's got a whole lot of opportunities, I'm sure, lined up. And
Hmm.
also, Val and her friendship is really sweet to see throughout the season. I feel like they had a really good partnership there too. So that was really
Yeah.
great.
Val is so cool. He's so nice and he's such a great dancer. So suave. I mean, Val is definitely a staple on the show.
Yeah. And her freestyle dance there too was also incredible. I feel like I love anything with Tate McRae. So having that part of the
Mhm.
song was amazing.
It was so good. So, so good.
Yes. Well, next up, as we all know, our winners, Robert and Whitney. So Whitney hadn't won in 11 years. Last time she won was with Alfonso. So she definitely deserved this. She's been in the finale multiple times and hadn't won. And Robert, I felt like was the best partner for her this season. And they just had such an amazing story, and just everyone's obsessed with Robert. So
Hmm.
he did an amazing job with dancing and also with his sister having won 10 years prior. Just all of that, as we've been mentioning, just all full circle here. And I was really happy to see Robert and Whitney win.
I know. It felt right. It felt like it made sense. They were such a great pair all season and there was so many touching moments. Um, I can't say he's my favorite. Like as obviously I've mentioned multiple favorites, I don't resonate with Robert. Like I don't really feel like we would have a lot to talk about over a dinner. But I do think he's a really sweet, genuine guy. I think he's young. He's 21. He's still discovering himself. And he obviously has this huge legacy, which I'm sure weighs very heavy on him. So he's definitely going to change the world. He's a very powerful man. I've learned a lot about his family this season that I did not know before. I didn't know much about him or his dad actually before this season. So I definitely plan on making a trip to Australia one day and checking out the zoo.
Yeah, no, that sounds fun. But yeah, I know Robert. I feel like I'm impressed with how well spoken he was throughout everything. I mean, he's been in the press his whole life, basically, with his
Hmm.
dad and all of that. But he seems so much older than his age. Like he, even though he's only 21, like he just has so much maturity and emotional intelligence that throughout the season was really great to see. And overall, just his dancing was really fun. And him and Whitney were really great together. Obviously,
Hmm.
also Whitney's great with her choreography. So it was really fun to see them, and having them as the winners this season, I think just makes sense as a whole for this season with how they started and where they went throughout the season. Some
Hmm.
people were critiquing that they weren't improved like everyone else, but I still think that as a whole, like they are already like the ones America wanted to win, basically.
They
So
have
from
the
the
most
beginning,
powerful story, and I think
yeah.
that's what it comes down to is who touches people the most, who makes the
Mhm.
biggest impact. And I think Robert and Whitney made the biggest impact this season. But did you see the text messages that she accidentally leaked?
Yes, I did. That was a little risky. The ones with about Zac Efron not being, or
Yeah.
who wasn't there. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, like, she was trying to post a TikTok, but I guess there was like a screenshot she accidentally posted on her page and she quickly deleted it, but people were able to snag grab it. And it was like her husband was texting her, Zac Efron is here, and Whitney responded, I saw they are trying to get votes. And some people took that the wrong way, and some of the conversation also was blurred. So we really couldn't see if it was actually shady. I don't think it's that serious. It was a private conversation with her husband, and of course, Zach Efron was there to try and get votes. Like, duh. Like, that's the point of the show is to get the votes. And he's still supporting his brother. I think two things could be true. You could, strategically have your brother come the week before the finale, but you also could show up for your brother who you love. And I think it was kind of obvious that Zach didn't really want to be there. He did seem a little out of place. And he kind of was like whispering to his mom, like, what does this mean? So he didn't really seem into it. But the fact that he did show up and Dylan talked so highly of him, and I mean, even from their Instagram, you can tell that they're always posting and traveling together. And I think it's some of this world just is not Zach's world. So I didn't think it was necessary for those posts to just even be out. So I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't either. I think like Zach going obviously was to get votes. Like, like he's supporting his brother, and that's not really that shady. It's more just like Whitney stating a fact in that way. Like, it's not thing like she
Hmm.
was really shading him for it. Like they obviously Whitney and Robert still made it to the end, that and they won, that like it didn't
Hmm.
have an impact in that way. So I think people are just reading too far into it, and I don't think there was that much harm from those text messages being released. I mean, obviously, it's not great to have your private messages like accidentally
No, but it could
shared,
have been way
but
worse. It could have been
yeah.
so much worse. I mean, there's been other texts released that are like way worse. So it's not that serious. And she really didn't say anything bad.
No, and it wouldn't have impacted them as a like for winning it because it wasn't even like Dylan and Daniela were in second place or whatever. Like they weren't even that close,
Yeah,
and
and
it
you
was
know
from the
what?
week
Like,
prior.
if
So
I was Dylan, and I'm sure Whitney and Daniela are so close that like they probably laughed it off. But like, I don't know. If I had nothing to hide, I would just show the full text conversation to Dylan and Daniela privately,
yeah,
just to let them know that like this is what was said, LOL, just so that she doesn't get like corrupted by them if they would care about that.
yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, that was interesting to see those leaked.
Hmm.
But I feel like it's nothing too big, so we'll see if
Yeah.
anything else develops from that.
Yeah.
But that wraps us up for season 34. But do you have any hopes for next season, or you think they should change anything moving forward?
I do want to see a showmance. I think it does make it really fun, whether it's between a dancer, maybe two celebrities on the show. I do think a showmance is necessary. Even though we didn't have one this season, I want one for next season. I do want to see more reality stars. I want to see more relevant celebrities. I think casting has done a really good job the last few years. So they know what they're doing, and I'm sure they'll cast really fun, interesting people next year. And I can't wait for it. I mean, it's such a fun show. I love watching Dancing with the Stars, and I can't wait to see what happens next season. I'm sure it'll be iconic.
Yes, I agree. And one person we actually didn't really mention this episode, we haven't talked about Andy, who made it very far for being an
Mm.
older man, not really dancing as well as everyone else. So, what were your thoughts on him making it that far? Do you think he should have, or do you think that people shouldn't have voted for him as much as they did?
Right. I mean, I was never a fandy. I'm not a hater though. I do think he brought a lot of fun joy to the show and I liked his personality. So it's always fun when someone's like, no way, they're still there. We kind of get that every season, like with Harry Jowsey, and the same thing happened with Vinny. But they were kind of going because they were like hot guys. Like Andy, he was just like a lovable guy. He's from Elf. So everybody make sure to go watch Elf this holiday season because he does have a part in that Christmas movie. And I'm happy for him that he made it this far because I did think that his fan base was genuine. I think they really loved him and he was endearing, and Emma is a great partner, so I think they brought a lot of joy to the show. But I mean, I was just rooting for other people.
Yeah, I agree. I felt like, and where he made it to, I think was the right spot for him to be then sent home then at 6. So, like, I think that made sense for his journey. And I felt like this season as a whole was really great. It's going to be hard to top it next year, but I'm excited for them to bring back more people, hopefully, that we know, as well as you were saying, as reality stars and all the fun pop people that we
Yeah.
can see, hopefully, next season. Do you have anyone in particular you think should be on?
I don't know. I mean, I know Trisha Paytas has been thrown around, so I think it's will be fun to see her. I always love that there like when there's an influencer. I think it's a little too far to know because it is like a
Yeah.
year away or maybe 8 months until they announce the cast. So I think we need to see who's relevant, who's in the headlines, because I mean, Dylan, Alex, like some of these people were super relevant at the time, which is why they got casted, the Mormon wives. So who knows? A lot can change in a year.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, thanks, Zachary, for coming on. And do you want to plug anything for where your listeners can find you and anything coming up in
Yeah,
your near future?
yeah, thank you so much for having me on again. You guys can find me at Zachary Reality everywhere. So that's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, podcast. Coming up, I have lots of fun content coming in Miami, and I will be also going to the Vanderpump Rules premiere party when I get back to LA for the new season. So I'm excited to cover that and get to know the cast. I'll also be going to the TikTok Awards. So they're doing like this big TikTok award show in LA in a couple of weeks. I'm not nominated, but my friend Alexis is. If you guys want to vote for her, Alexis and Dean for Best Education. So I'll be cheering her on that night. But I can't wait to go to the first ever TikTok award show because they're gonna have all these TikTokers in one room, and it'll be so interesting to feel like we're like at the Oscars, but like in our own way because we're all TikTokers. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, though that sounds amazing. Well, thank you again. And if you're listening, you're new here, make sure you subscribe to Let's Chat Reality wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube. And you can follow us on social media at Let's Chat Reality. And we'll chat with you all again soon. Thanks so much for listening.
Bye.